So as y'all have recently seen, Congress has made a fool of themselves once again with that hearing they did with the CEO of TikTok. They just demonstrated that they was out of touch, old, and they don't understand fully how this technology works. And also their bias against TikTok, because the things that they was going against TikTok about is the same problems that Meta, which like Facebook, Instagram, Alphabet, which Google, all of those platforms have also contributed to. The problems of being fishy with data. Every single one of these social media companies does the same thing. They do the same thing. But guess what? Congress don't care about Meta or any of those American companies. They's only going after TikTok. That's it. And because of this dogmatic approach to decision making, you'll see that they've come to the conclusion before they've reasoned themselves there. And I'll just give you an example of that right here.
Can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
We do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users. We do not. The only face data that you'll get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are. And
why do you need to know what the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
As you can see, that old bag of farts could not understand what a filter was. This obviously shows the inability for him and people like him to legislate on things that they just do not understand. And now a lot of people have laughed at this and said that's funny and da-da-da-da. Going after TikTok is a cover-up. TikTok is part of the goal, but Congress's real goal is to have complete power and control over the American internet. That is what their goal is. In tandem with that TikTok hearing, Senator Mark Warner has proposed the Restrict Act. For the people who do not know, the Restrict Act is like the Patriot Act, which gave the government complete access to spy on American users and meddle with the American internet. It's like that, but on steroids. And for y'all, I have taken the time to read the 56-page document of legal jargon and highlight some of the most scary features. I'm gonna save you the trouble of reading all the legal jargon throughout this because it's frustrating to understand. But pretty much what this bill do is it gives the Secretary of Commerce, a person who is not elected, the ability to pretty much do anything to address any risk. Now, what is these risks? There's anything that it could be used to sabotage or subvert the design, integrity, manufacturing, or pretty much any industry in the US when it comes to information and communications technology. And as they specifically highlight in there, they mean foreign adversaries. Now, what do they mean by foreign adversaries? In this bill, they specifically target the People's Republic of China, the Republic of Cuba, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the Russian Federation, and then the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Now, that is just the people they target. They also, if I understand this correctly, have the ability to pretty much say anyone's a foreign adversary if they deem there to be risk. Now you might be confused. What did this 100% cover? Because you talk about communications technology and information technology. Let's look at the specific things that they kind of highlight in this bill. So pretty much anything that's related to wireless networks, mobile networks, satellite payloads, cable access points, wireless access points, core network points, anything computer-based, pretty much. Anything that involves the internet or any communication of data. And this can also entail internet hosting services, anything cloud-based, machine learning or predictive analytics, or managed services or content delivery services, or anything really internet at all, like whether it's the end sensors, the webcams, or monitoring devices, modems, anything like that, unmanned vehicles, any software. So desktop applications, mobile applications, game applications, payment applications, web-based applications, artificial intelligence, machine learning, quantum key distribution, anything quantum key, biotechnology, all these different things, any e-commerce things. Now, you might be like, okay, what do that exactly mean? That means they have the ability to regulate that. And by regulate that, they can just be like, boop, it's banned. This don't give them the ability to just get rid of TikTok. This is anything that they say is a risk, and they can just say anything is the risk. They have that power. The Secretary of Commerce will now have that power. There's all this talk in America about, oh, how China, how its laws and the internet and the Great Firewall over there is so bad and evil. This is something, a bill, a piece of legislation that could set up a very similar thing in the United States and give precedent to laws that could further expand this. Because once there is precedent for something, it's a lot easier to pass more legislation. Maybe not even legislation. Maybe Supreme Court, using their view of the Constitution, gives this more power. They're very generous in the reading. They give this bill more power. So not even is the implications of this scary, just the bill in itself, the precedent it could set is very bad. So now let's look at the penalties for any violation of this bill if it gets passed. So for any civil penalties, you could get a fine of up to $250,000, $250,000, $250K. That is crazy. Now, if they criminally prosecute you, then you can get fines up to $1 million, 1 million buckaroos, and also be in prison for up to 20 years. Now, to explain what exactly you have to do to face these penalties, I will give you a quick little example. Let's say the Secretary of Commerce decides that, I don't know, this random website needs to be banned. It's a popular website. We're just going to call it Website A, for example. Okay, Website A gets banned. Now, anyone who tries to go on that website and subvert this law by a VPN or any other thing like that, bam, that is intent to subvert the law, which means you can face those penalties. Now, who could help someone in this process? I don't know, a VPN company. A VPN company could be prosecuted under this because they would help because they gave you the software that helps you circumvent it. You understand what is going on here, right? They're trying to go after VPNs, and a VPN can't just be like, okay, we'll block this certain site, because the whole purpose is they can't see what you's going on. That's the whole purpose. So it would get rid of VPNs pretty much, because everyday people would use that VPN to subvert whatever it is. Even with the penalties that could be in place if they get caught, people would still do it. But now VPN companies won't give that service because they could be held liable if my interpretation of that writing is correct. Do you understand the implications this has? And this would give Congress, this would give the government power over information that they have not had ever. That's scary. Now, you want to know something even crazier? You want to know something crazier on top of all that? The President and the Secretary of Commerce, any actions taken by them, any findings by them, shall not be subject to administrative review or any judicial review in any federal court except the exceptions that it provides later on in the bill. Here is some of those exceptions. So pretty much, not later than 60 days after the Secretary takes action can something be filed for a review in the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. So only that circuit. On top of that, the court shall not disturb any action taken by the Secretary or by the President unless the petitioner demonstrates the action is unconstitutional or in patent violation of a clear and mandatory statutory command. On top of that, it gives the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit to have exclusive judiciary function over any claims arising from this act. Now, I personally is not a law student. I ain't as familiar with law, so that could be a common thing. But what it seems to me is that through this section right here, it pretty much bogs down one court circuit to deal with all that stuff. And if there's a bunch of problems like that people have and grievances that people have, they have to go through this. And I don't know. It just is not a good look. It just is not good. It's just not good at all. So what I really encourage you to do is to contact your local senators. Contact your local senators, your local representatives, everyone. Everyone you can get in contact with, and pretty much demand that they stop. Threaten to not vote them back in, everything possible, because if this gets passed, that's bad news bears. That is bad news for everyone, for everyone, for everyone. This is not good. Whether you like TikTok or not, this is not about TikTok. TikTok was not mentioned once in this bill. And they've been using TikTok as the thing that this is supposed to protect it. It's not mentioned once in this bill. It is so broad and vague that it gives them power to do pretty much anything. And that's not even me exaggerating. That's like what it said. That's like a pretty generous application of what it says. Like, in its favor. It's that twisted. Do whatever you can. Share this video. People need to know about this. I don't see people talking about this. I see people talking about the Congress hearing and how, oh, like the CEO of this billion-dollar corporation was so cool, da-da-da. Who cares about him? He's a multimillionaire. He don't care about you. TikTok sucks. But this sucks worse. This is bad. Contact anyone you can. This is not good. This is not, bye.